It's that special time of the week again, everyone. It's time for another installment of Cape TV. As always, I am your host, Joel, and joining me is...
Matt.
Yep, he certainly is. You know, it's funny, I always try and differentiate this show from all the other shows that I'm on, trying to give it its own flavor, its own intro and everything. But some weeks I just got nothing. Some weeks I'm just like, yeah, let's just get into the show, I guess. Maybe that can be a thing.
It gets really hard.
It does, and I try very hard not to repeat myself, but I'm sure people who listen to everything I'm on, first off, God bless you, and also it's just like, man, Joel recycles a lot of his material, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. And how?
And oh, shit, Matt. Now, see, Matt and I were talking about what we gotta make for shirts and everything. I think and how needs to be one of the shirts. Actually, a dude made some really nice art for me, and he kind of went out of his way. I didn't ask him to do it, but he actually made, the Cape Joel symbol.
Oh, nice.
It's like a C and a J, and it's all green on black, and I'm like, okay, I need to steal that, too, for when we start making shirts. That needs to be the logo. Shit, I'll put that on my business card. Make me feel like a real super person. And speaking of super people, starting off the show as we always do, I'm going to pass the reins on over to Matt, and he's going to tell us about Supergirl Season 2, Episode 20, City of Lost Children.
Oh boy, this episode was good. It was surprising as well because it sets up the last two episodes. So this episode was primarily a Jimmy Olsen-centric episode.
No shit.
And his dealing... with Guardian, and Guardian, he's kind of found out, is kind of scary to a lot of people. No one really trusts him because he's, I don't know whether you've seen it. He's got the costume. It's all like silver and black and everything, and he has a voice mod. He has a voice modulator that makes him sound like the devil.
Doing the Green Arrow thing. Yeah, he looks very aggressive for a guy called Guardian.
Yeah, so maybe this is the start of him deciding, hey, maybe I should go for a blue and gold costume.
It's a good look, man, and maybe I should ditch the scary Satan modifier. Maybe I should let people know I'm here to help, just maybe.
Yeah, and he does that this episode when we find out that Lena Luthor and Mon-El's mother's, their portal is starting to work, the portal device they worked. And the thing is, whenever they power up the portal, it starts messing with this alien race's telepathic abilities.
Uh-oh.
And yeah, they cause complete and utter destruction all through the city and everything. And James has to console this little boy whose mother is on the run because his mother did inadvertently almost destroy half the city.
Oops.
And he's got to look after this little kid and everything, and he sort of connects with the little kid because he never really had a father figure that was in his life for a lot of times and stuff like that. And it's actually really a cool episode, but it also connects to the big plot since we find out that Rhea, Mon-El's mother, wants the portal open so she can bring all her Daxamite people to Earth and create new Daxamite. New Daxam.
Oh shit, like World of New Krypton.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember you tweeted about that saying, yo, World of New Krypton, we in there now. Hey, if you're going to take reference from anything, why the hell not take reference from that?
Exactly, and it looks like these last two episodes show National City, or at least part of the world, under control of the Daxamites.
Damn. I know you said, too, you've mentioned it the last couple of weeks, alien rights seem to be quite the undercurrent of this show. Seems to be a big theme for this season.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, obviously, the world knows aliens exist, and they're sort of allowed to live on Earth, but there's certain rules and everything, and then there's people like Lena Luthor's mother that doesn't like aliens, very xenophobic and everything, right. And you got all those sorts of things.
She's xenophobic. She doesn't like them xenomorph aliens. She doesn't want them coming to Earth with their face huggers and stuff. But yeah, that sounds cool. It's nice to see Guardian kind of get some play. I like that actor who plays this, radically reimagined Jimmy, who is a hero on top of everything else.
He is a really good... Since the CW has taken over the show, he has gotten a lot of good episodes.
I'm sure you saw the picture, too. It was, it was a tweet from the show production, and it said, oh, God, what did it say? Jimmy Olsen, Superman's best pal, and it was that actor palling around with the dude who plays Superman in his Superman suit, and they were, hugging each other, and it was, a very nice moment.
I did see that. It was great.
That's really good, and I like that they had the foresight to be like, no, call it Superman's best pal, Jimmy Olsen. Has he been in the show recently, Superman, or are they saving him for the last 2 episodes, do you think?
I think he's in the last 2 episodes. Yeah, he's been filming stuff with the General Zod actor and everything.
How cool is it that we have a show where Superman does exist, but he doesn't steal all the spotlight and all the focus?
It's exactly how it should be for a show called Supergirl.
Makes
Even like in the first 2 episodes of this season when he was there, he never stole the show or anything. He was there and just part of the crew and everything.
He was there the perfect amount of time, and it already hit like, wow, what a great version of this character. Makes me think if they ever settle the issues and ever end up doing like a Bat Family themed show, that's how Batman should be. It's like, look, I'm around, but I'm doing my own shit.
Yeah, that'd be really great.
Like, I'll drop in from time to time and help you out, but I'm doing my own shit. And also, it sends a great message, too, to being like, look, you carry my name, you carry my symbol. I trust you to do what's right. I'm not going to micromanage you. I'm not going to baby you. But I'm here to help if you need it.
Exactly.
It's really nice. So overall, you would say this episode, you'd give it a big old thumbs up?
I would. They've been knocking it out of the park with these last couple of episodes.
Yeah, it sounds like it's really strong. Like, I know I really only watch Supergirl when it comes to, like, crossovers or big important episodes and stuff like that, but I'm feeling like maybe I should catch up on this season because you give it such glowing praise every week.
Yeah, I tell you what, just skip season 1 and just go straight to season 2 because it's a whole new show.
It basically is a whole new show. And speaking of whole new shows, we can move on to the other big CW show of the week, and that was The Flash Season 3, Episode 22, Cause and Effect. And, yeah, what did you think of this one, Matt? Yeah, is right. I'm not angry at it like I have been the last two, but it felt like like they really put the brakes on, didn't they?
Mm-hmm, yep.
This was kind of a faffing about centric episode, is what this was. We have the big reveal of, oh, Savitar was an evil time remnant of Barry, and he kind of gives his reasoning, which we basically already covered before they even did the show. Where he's like, oh, I felt bad about Iris's death. So, I wanted to be a god because gods don't feel bad. So I created a self-fulfilling time loop where I become Savitar and I kill Iris. And I'm like, yeah, we knew it was going there. And then they shut down any, like, good thoughts of, like, how do you get out of this? With Barry being like, well, why don't I just kill myself like Eddie Thawne did? And why don't my dryer just go off like Eddie Thawne's dryer went off? And he's like, you can't kill me. That's against the rules now. We've changed the rules. You just can't kill yourself and destroy me.
When have time travel or time quantum mechanic rules ever applied to the Flash?
Never, but they at least seemed like they did in earlier seasons. I've joked about it before, but I'll say it again. I swear to God, it's like the Legends writers jumped over and started writing the time travel on Flash. It's like at least there were rules because they did it sparingly. Now they're doing it so much. But yeah, So Savitar Barry is still really stupid, and his motivation is really predictable and trite and just really uncool. The idea they have of defeating him is they hit upon this concept where it's like, well, he can always defeat us because he always knows what we're going to do because he's lived these events before. I know how we'll defeat Savitar. We'll give Barry a small amount of brain damage so he can't remember things in the future. And Barry's like, that's a great idea. Sign me up. Which all I can think is, like, if the whole point of it was to make him forget, why didn't you just get him, like, really piss drunk and high so he doesn't remember the future? Or how about you make him, like, eat a lot of cakes? How about you sit him down in, like, a donut shop and just have him eat and eat until he's really fat and unhealthy? Like, if that's your plan, it seems like there's so many other places you could have gone with it. And in a hilarious mix-up, what happens, Matt, when they try and mess with his memory?
Oh, he forgets everything. Oop-a-doo, he's not Flash anymore.
They give him full-on soap opera amnesia, or comic book amnesia, depending on how you want to look at it. But yes, this was a whole episode built around amnesia, and only, like, 2 episodes before the finale, which I'm like, wow, it really feels like you're wasting time here.
It did, yep.
You motherfuckers are stalling is what you're doing. You didn't have enough show left, and it's clear to me you didn't have enough show left.
No. It felt so out of place, especially after the last episode when we learn who Savitar is.
Yeah, just totally threw the brakes down on it. And again, there's like a germ of an interesting idea where it's like, oh, well, Barry forgot, so Savitar really forgot, which means, Killer Frost, who is essentially his partner in crime now, doesn't know what to do, and she ends up working with the good guys to try and get Savitar back to himself, but at the same time, they kind of try and break on into her. But it just felt so out of place.
It did. It felt so weird, especially to be happening right here. Too, like, I think next week is the last episode.
Is it? I thought it was the 23rd they have the last one, because they keep saying...
Maybe.
They keep saying that, the day Iris dies is May 23rd. I'm like, oh, the final episode airs on May 23rd.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So that was the thing of it. And again, the Killer Frost stuff makes me laugh. I mentioned this last week, and I'll say it again. They know their friend Caitlin is running around crazy with evil supervillain powers, but they don't think to lock their doors or add any new security to stop her from just waltzing the fuck in.
That's what I don't understand with that Star Labs building. Like, because whenever we see like that aerial shot of it, it's still all like broken and everything. And it's like, you're 3 seasons in. Why can't you fix this building up?
No money. No money in the grants. But wait, Flash, aren't you super fast? Couldn't you, repair it yourself in a minute? It looks nice. Gives the building personality. But yeah, the Killer Frost thing, it's so hilarious, because she shows up at Joe's house in the previous issue and be like, ha ha ha, I kidnapped your girlfriend, and then this week, ha ha ha, I showed up in your office to fuck with you. And it's like, why did no one think ahead? It's baffling that no one thought to be like, oh shit, I'm pretty sure she still has keys for this place, guys.
Yeah, just change all the codes.
Yeah, really change everything, you idiots. Wally was around this episode. He actually did things this episode.
He did. He didn't decide, I'm gonna go back to Earth 3.
I'm gonna go hang out with my girlfriend. Oh, hey, speaking of Wally, did you hear? Someone tweeted this at me. Apparently, the actor who plays Wally actually came out as bisexual this week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, good for him. No shame in his game. It has no bearing on the episode whatsoever. I just thought I would bring this up because it was ultimately a very uneventful episode when you truly break it down. The last thing I'll really mention is, they have... even the ultimate moral of this episode was flawed, Matt, and I'm sure you'll agree. Because, Barry, when he's unburdened by his identity as the Flash and the power and all this responsibility, he basically goes back to happy, free-willin' and dealing goofy Barry from, the beginning of Season 1.
Yeah, and people want to keep him that way.
Yeah, because I technically wanted to keep him that way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I forgot how cool you were before you started brooding all the goddamn time. This really has been the broody season. Only for him to go back and be like, yeah, see, it was right for me to be broody, though, because these are important things that are happening. And even Iris is like, yeah, I agree. And I'm like, no, you shouldn't agree. The moral of this episode should have been, yeah, you're right. I should try and be happier and more joyous, and I should try and find a balance between, being an adult and worrying about things in the future, but also still trying to be myself.
Yep.
The moral of this episode was so flawed and so fucked in its own way.
It was.
And then we have the stinger for King Shark coming back. Okay.
Yeah,
Will this actually be an episode, or will this be another fucking around filler episode until the real final episode?
Yeah, well, it sounds like it might be, because I know Captain Cold is coming back as well, and it looks like him and Flash are teaming up or something.
Right, to probably steal that red crystal, which apparently is the thing they need to power the Speed Force bazooka.
Yeah, even though Flash couldn't just, zoom in and get it.
You would think so, wouldn't you? You would think, isn't that your thing? Can't you run so fast you can go through walls? Can't you run so fast you can do this, that, and the other?
Yep.
I think that's another issue with Season 3 as I stop and look at it. The first 2 seasons had a really good ramping up of Flash's powers, where it's like he learns to throw lightning, he learns to run through walls and create speed doubles of himself. He didn't really learn anything new this season, did he?
No, and that's the thing, he's already learned all these things, and there's been so many situations where he could use those things, but he never does.
He forgets he has the power.
Yeah.
There's also, a very late in the game kind of romantic side plot going on between, HR and the scientist woman.
Yeah, that's probably not going to pay off at all.
Probably not, because, the show didn't have enough romantic entanglement already. You see, Matt, they had too many people and too many happy relationships, so we need a new will they, won't they.
Yep.
It's the CW, it's in the rider. If they don't have a man and a woman making awkward kissy faces at each other, it can't be on the CW anymore. And they're like, well, fuck, we've put literally everyone else in a relationship. Who is left to put in a relationship?
No one.
Only Wells. He's the last one they can put in a relationship. Everyone else is either seeing someone, married, longing for someone. It's the only thing they can do.
Yep.
Hey, here's another thing. This episode, they make reference to Pied Piper. Where'd he go? Because when they changed time, Pied Piper was, like, working there at Star Labs, then we just never saw him again?
Yeah, like, when he first appeared, he was, like, on the crew with everyone else, and then he just disappeared. I have no idea.
Did negotiations fall through with that actor or something? Because I really expected him to stick around, then he just didn't.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened. Maybe they thought, like, oh, maybe this is kind of a silly villain.
Did they get cold feet and they're like, maybe we shouldn't make him a good guy because, we'll eventually want to do Rogue's Revenge or something?
Yeah, and again, they're kind of doing the same thing with Caitlyn at the moment, making her a good guy who is a bad guy sort of thing.
Right, well, I mean, she'll obviously still need to be Killer Frost and have powers, but I guess she'll just be Caitlyn with a harder edge or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was cause and effect, everyone. It was slightly better than the last two. I enjoyed kind of the return to shenanigans and the return to episodicness, but 3 episodes before the end of the season was not a good time to bust out this episode.
Yeah, something like this should have probably happened before Savitar.
Yes, absolutely. I would have been much kinder to this episode if it had come much earlier in the season.
Mm-hmm.
But as it stands right now, it's just another one where it's like, oh yeah, hey, remember that time he got amnesia?
Yep.
Now, from there, we can move on to the other big superhero-themed show this week, and that was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 4, Episode 21, The Return. And oh boy, does that episode mean a lot, because we return to many things.
Yes, we do.
What did you like about this one? Matt, I'll actually let you take the lead here.
Oh boy, what didn't I like about this? There's so much good stuff in it, and I guess like Ada isn't Inhuman now. She's Inhuman.
Yes, we found that out 100% for sure. So you were right, Matt. You said that in the previous episode. I'm like, I'm sure it's just a Darkhold spell. Yeah. No, she's actually an Inhuman now. She gave herself powers, many powers, in fact.
Yeah, a lot of power, like Lincoln's power and everything.
Yep. Teleportation.
And which I thought was really cool. She was using the framework to get herself powers, which was really cool.
And she has become unto a god now.
Pretty much, and because she now has emotions, she's kind of like that crazy girlfriend of Fitz's.
Oh, she goes full on crazy X. It's amazing because she's like, oh, I'm real, I have a body, I have emotions, and I'm feeling everything 100%. When I'm happy, I couldn't be more happy. Oh, when I'm sad, I'm really sad. And, they kind of play with this thing where it's like they've been building up Ada all season as this ultimate villain. And then they kind of flip the script here where it's like, well, if she has emotions and she can feel love, maybe Fitz can actually kind of work her to come back to the good side. Maybe the S.H.I.E.L.D. dudes will eventually forgive her because she saves Mac from the whole, crumbling sea fortress and everything. But then Fitz very stupidly tries to break up with her.
Yeah, he tries to. No, I'm okay. I don't want to date a homicidal ex-robot.
I just kind of have this thing going on with Simmons right now. What do you mean? No, man, that actress is going for it in that scene when she yells and when she's like, you really do feel like she's feeling jealousy for the first time ever in her life. I'm gonna cut your fucking dick off and slash your tires. Whoa, what? That is some anger. I have to imagine that actress was going to a very real place with that. Who broke your heart, lady? And if so, I hope he got what he deserved.
What else happened? Oh, we got Coulson facing the Russian. Oh, yes. The Russians.
Russians now. There's multiple Russian bots. He's become a living machine man with a brain in a jar that can control a whole goddamn fleet, which is awesome.
I saw someone, I can't remember where it was, but they said that this guy's kind of like MODOK in the way that he's like a brain in like a jar that controls other brains and stuff and robots and everything. And he's designed to kill.
Yeah, he literally describes himself as a machine designed only for killing.
Yeah, and that fight was cool. Like when Coulson uses his shield to cut the guy's face off.
So cool. Talk about another power characters forget they have sometimes.
Yeah, well, he's been in the framework for however many episodes.
That's true. He didn't have it there, but it was really nice to see the shield come back. I'm kind of like, yeah, there we go. I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, that was cool. And we got a return of another character.
Yes, the General came back, and we actually find out that while the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. have been in, like, stasis, Ada and the Russian bots have been going around and have been framing them for the death of Jeffrey Mace and for the destruction of the old S.H.I.E.L.D. bunker and everything, and you literally catch up with them while the agents themselves are catching up.
Yeah, and I thought that was really great. I love how Talbot he's had this relationship with the Shield agents where he hated them, and then he liked them because they did the stuff with Hydra and everything, and now he hates them again because of they're like, God damn it, you've gone and killed Jeffrey Mason, all these other people bombing buildings and everything.
How do I know you're not a robot?
Yeah, I love it.
He calls them C-3POs, and he's like, look, you better tell me what's going on, and you better describe it in 50 words or less. Which, again, they cut away from that, but I'm like, man, I would have loved to have heard Coulson try and explain everything that happened in 50 words or less.
That would have been great.
There's also a bunch of stuff happening with Yo-Yo. She's pissed off that they didn't bring, Mac back with them. And so she basically goes rogue. She goes Maverick to try and go back into the simulation of the framework and get him back herself. But the world is fucked by the time she gets there.
Yeah, it's basically collapsing around them since I guess Ada's not in there anymore, so she can't keep a hold on it anymore.
Yup.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. And in that world, she's an Inhuman.
That's true. Which is walking around with a target on your back. We also got to meet a bunch of new agents this episode. I don't quite know their names yet, but I hope a lot of them stick around. I like short-haired agent. I like her.
Oh, they say her name. I can't remember what it was. Yeah, she and the other guys have been sort of like looking after them while they were in the framework and everything, and I do hope they stick around.
It makes me feel like S.H.I.E.L.D. tryouts, like, hey guys, if you survive this run-in, you'll actually get a name and get to be part of the team. But only if you live, though. You don't get it if you die, though. Fitz this episode, too, went on a frickin' acting decathlon, didn't he? From being happy to be home, being scared of his, former robot girlfriend, being kind of sad about the death of their relationship, and also, feeling like Gemma and everyone else might not be able to forgive him for all the evil stuff he did while in the framework.
Oh my god, Fitz has been getting such a good arc this season.
Like, it's award-worthy, I would say, the shit he's put in this season.
It's been really good.
It's some of the best stuff he's ever done, and like you feel for him because he's like, no, like I know I was manipulated, but at the same time, you just had to change one thing about my life, just one small thing, and I became a horrible, tyrannical dickhead, and it was just one thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good stuff. It's really tight, and then if that wasn't enough, if the episode didn't give you enough to chew on as it was. You get Ada returning to Russian bot and being like, let's use the Darkhold to kill everyone because I've been broken up with. And also, let's fuck and I'm going to murder you too because those are two things I haven't done yet.
And it doesn't matter if I keep murdering you, you've got so many bodies.
Yeah, really. You're disposable. You got infinite lives. He's literally playing with extra men. He swallowed a game genie. And now he's got all the extra lives. If that wasn't enough, and if that wasn't like enough build-up to be like, oh shit, how's this season gonna end? Then goddamn Ghost Rider came back. Yeah,
he comes back through that portal thing in the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. base.
It's kind of like, hey, you guys need me? You're fighting a villain who seems to be immortal but still has a human soul?
Yeah, I'll come take that soul.
Yeah, I can already see now that's what the finale's gonna be. We can't beat Ada, she's too strong, Robbie, I can. And then he gives her the fucking penitent stare.
That's gonna be great.
You wanted to be human, you wanted to feel things, well, feel this. That drags her soul down to hell. Yeah, Ada, talk about an interesting villain. They make you hate her, they kind of make you sympathize with her for a second, then make you hate her all over again.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting what they do with season 5, especially after these couple of arcs they've had.
Yes, we found out this week it's actually been renewed for a season 5.
Yeah, so that's going to be very interesting, and that'll about time it with I think with Inhumans as well at the end of the year. So
Right.
maybe some tie in there. Maybe.
I would like to see that. It's funny, Shield getting renewed for a 5th season. I love the Outhouse are one of my favorite places to get comic news and comedy. They've always run a bit since like season 1, where it's like, oh, getting canceled anytime now. Ooh, the ratings are dropping. They do it half jokingly and half seriously, and they're always shocked when it gets renewed for a new season. And they're like, oh fuck, it's back, and I'm like, yeah, it is. And, like, obviously they do it in a funny way, but, they're kind of parodying the people who are always like, oh, the show will get canceled any day now. It's been going strong for 5 seasons.
Yep.
And who knows what it'll be doing after that. I mean, somebody's clearly watching it, and they should be, because they're turning in their best work this season.
They are. It's completely different from when you saw like season 1 when they were just fighting stuff like Deathlock or Graviton and all that stuff like that. It's so different.
Still never went back to Graviton. He's still in a vault somewhere.
I'm thinking they're going to do something with him.
That would be cool. Graviton and the Griffin were some villains that they had. Didn't they have Blizzard, but they killed Blizzard?
I don't know. I don't know if they killed Blizzard. I know they killed that Inferno guy.
Right. Or Scorch.
Yeah.
So there you go. So yeah, that was Agents of Shield. That was the return. It was really tight. It's really ramping up for these last couple episodes, and I think they're going to be pretty huge when we actually get there.
Definitely, I'm really excited to see. I think it actually ends this coming week.
Right, because like I always try and time up the CW shows with Shield, but I forget one usually starts before the other, and so it ends usually before the other.
Yep.
So yeah, that's Agents of Shield. Strong stuff this season. Definitely a big old thumbs up for that one.
Definitely.
And lastly, this week we come to a nice little animated offering. We're talking about Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 8. This is the one from last week. We don't do the newest episodes in case this is your first show because, hey, it airs while we're talking.
It does.
And so this episode, Matt, kind of tackled something I don't think I can really remember Samurai Jack tackling, and that is the subject of love and romance.
It is. It's something that I've seen over like Twitter and Facebook and everywhere else that fans are kind of like divided by.
Yeah, I was divided too, honestly. I'm not gonna lie as I go into this, because basically this episode fucks with everything I've been saying all season long about what the show represents and what this arc represents and where it's going. Because if you remember, I said like, oh, this is totally the Dark Knight Returns for Jack. This is like Sin City for Jack. This is, what else I said? This is like Logan for Jack. He's learning to live again, and this young girl is giving him hope to, be a hero again. Oh, he fucked the girl who was giving him hope, huh? Well, shit. I mean, I know that was always the undercurrent in Frank Miller's work, but you're not supposed to do that, though, Jack. Damn it, Jack. Also, too, here's the thing, too. I know you're frozen in age, Jack, that, like, you haven't aged in 50 years, but I'm pretty sure anything you do with that girl is considered statutory. I'm sorry. I just think it is.
It's Aku's world. He's kind of fast and loose with those rules.
Yeah, Aku, he has no laws. Yeah, who's gonna get Jack in trouble for that? The answer is no one. But yeah, so they have a whole like desert adventure. They basically go into Tatooine.
Yep, pretty much.
And they end up finding a downed alien ship where they fight a really awesome looking alien for the bulk of the episode.
Yeah, he looked really cool.
It's a thing made of a bunch of leeches. I don't know if you remember that show Savage Dragon, but there was a villain on that show who was made of a bunch of like toxic leeches.
Yeah.
Great design, great animation work because he kept breaking apart and coming back together, and they kept having to fight him in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to make like a landmine work, but of course they only heard half of the instructions, so like a good chunk of the comedy is them just being like, how the fuck do we make this work? And of course, because the creature is acidic, their clothes kept getting eaten up and everything. And Jack's like, "Oh no, I can't look at you right now." And apparently, the mothers of Aku taught them how to kill, taught them, how to fight and everything. Didn't teach them shame, unlike Jack and his samurai education, where they were sure to teach him shame. Lesson 1: shame. You are filthy and never forget it. It's interesting too, because this is maybe the only episode of Samurai Jack where the subjects of sex, romance, relationships are brought up. It's the only other episode I can remember where we saw Jack in a somewhat romantic light.
What's that?
It was an episode where he met a mysterious green-skinned woman. They went on an adventure together, but by the end of that, we found out that woman was actually Aku in disguise the whole time. So yeah, I bet that kind of hurt Jack's romance thing for a bit. There was nope, never again, not gonna fall for another woman. Might just be Aku.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get catfished again.
No, that was literally one of the first instances of catfishing. Jack got catfished on an epic scale. But yeah, with only 2 episodes left in this show, I don't know where the fuck they're gonna go with it now. I thought I knew. I thought I had the trajectory for it. But then we have Jack and Ashi fucking, and now I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea either. It could go anywhere. And as I said, it's kind of like how what Old Man Logan's doing at the moment with that past lives thing, and it's going to be one of those things where if he does get a chance to go back to his time, will he?
Yeah.
Or will he stay in this fucked up future with Ashi?
Yeah, does he have a reason to stay now is the thing. Or even if he dies, is it oh no, it's okay because she's carrying his child now.
Yeah.
Jack Jr., Jack of the future.
There's a spin-off.
Yeah, Jack of the future right there. It just took me by so much surprise, but I guess it makes sense why they would like each other if I was just to play armchair psychologist for a moment. Jack probably doesn't get to meet a lot of women, and Ashi's probably never met another man that she didn't murder in cold blood.
Mm-hmm.
So, put people together for long enough.
It's kind of that trope as well where he's the guy that she was meant to kill and they end up falling in love and everything. Again,
it's very tropey. Again, it's very Sin City and very Frank Miller in a way. It's only Tartakovsky's smart enough to not pull the straight up, hey, let's do the fight, fuck thing. It's more of fight, get to know each other a bit, get to and understand each other, and then after a big fight, we'll end up having sex. They played Dean Martin too, which blew me away. They played Dean Martin over the credits instead of the regular ending theme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tartakovsky loves doing that too. He busted out a flock of seagulls during a big romance scene in Symbiotic Titan. He definitely has a very eclectic taste in music. I'm surprised the network was willing to spring for a Dean Martin song. I'm sure that must have been expensive.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it was a good episode, but at the same time, too, I'm torn. I'm really torn, because this episode was basically just Joel, you're wrong about everything. You thought you knew, but now you're wrong. And I guess that's a good thing. And with 2 episodes left, they're going to have to wrap this up soon.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see this week's episode.
I was reading the thing for it, and it basically said, the last 2 episodes, Jack battles Aku with the fate of the world in the balance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so whatever it is, we'll have our answer soon enough, and then Samurai Jack will be done, maybe forever now.
Yeah, maybe.
What a weird and interesting saga Samurai Jack has been, being so big for the time it was, falling into obscurity, and then getting to come back all these years later and finish it off. But not just finish it off, but finish it off in a way that, would appeal to and please the older fans who grew up with it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's kind of amazing.
It is.
It's kind of really amazing. So yeah, everybody, that'll just about do it for Cape TV this week. We hope you enjoyed it. We're almost at the 40-minute mark. These you notice, Matt, these episodes are getting shorter and shorter because we only have 4 shows to talk about each week now.
Everything's starting to finish.
Everything is winding down, and maybe even Cape TV will wind down as well if we can't find anything to talk about.
It might have to, yeah.
But don't worry, we'll be sure that the last couple episodes will go out with a bang until we come back again, which we will. I know Caitlin wanted to hop back on again to talk about Steven Universe, so there's one for you, everybody. And don't worry, Matt, you don't have to stick around for that one if you don't want to. I might pre-record that one and put it in. Because as history has shown, once Caitlin and I start talking about shit, we can literally go for hours.
It gives us more content.
Absolutely. So there you go, everyone. That'll do it for the show this week. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, down in the comment section below, tell me and Matt, what were your favorite things from this week? What would you like to see us cover maybe on some future episodes of Cape TV? And as always, if you want to stay up to date on the show and what me and Matt are doing, you can follow me at Cape Joel.
You can follow me at Fortress of Solitude.
There you go. If you want to download the show and carry it around with you all the time, you can do so over on the Comic Multiverse SoundCloud page, where you'll not only find this show re-uploaded, but you'll also find the Comic Multiverse, which is the other show me and Matt do. So you get 2 shows.
2 for the price of 1.
Which is nothing, because SoundCloud is free. I don't charge anyone. So you get like 2 for nothing, which is like the best deal.
It's free.
Free 99, motherfucker. So on that note, we will end the show for real. Bye-bye, everybody.
See ya.